Hey everyone, here from 744 Ostrom for the first edition of On the Beat this year, football edition. I'm here with my fellow beat writers Andrew John and Brett LoGiurato previewing this weekend's game in Akron, Ohio. Syracuse opens the season finally at the Zips. So we're just going to jump right into it. First thing we're going to talk about here is Ryan Nassib. We're going to obviously preview a bunch of stuff for this weekend's game, but first things first, the question on everyone's mind, Ryan Nassib, is he ready finally at last to be there in the starting role? I'm going to throw it over to Brett quickly because obviously he delved into everything Ryan Nassib in our football preview that came out yesterday. Brett, we've been here for a month. I think we all have a consensus on whether we think Ryan Nassib's ready or not, how good he's going to be. What are you looking at of him Saturday, kind of in the first series, first quarter, just entire game?
Ryan Nassib's come a long way in the past year and a half, just from being named the starter in spring 2009, obviously getting it taken away from him by Greg Paulus, and then regaining the job this spring, and recently being confirmed as a starter. But I think we'll see a confident, not jittery Ryan Nassib at all. I think one thing Ryan Nassib won't be is jittery. I think we've all agreed from talking to him a lot this fall that he is not going to be nervous out there. And it'll be interesting to see also who develops as his number one wide receiver. There's a couple guys. Alec Lemon had 29 catches last year. It's tied for the second most in SU freshman history. Will he be that go-to number one receiver? Other guys to look for, Van Chu, will he step into that number two role? And Aaron Weaver, transfer from Hofstra.
Right. I mean, you mentioned the word jitters with Ryan Nassib, and even as recently as Wednesday, just 2 days ago, when he was talking to the media, kind of in the cafeteria at the football wing, it was the same thing. That's been every single day of practice that we've been able to talk with him for the entirety of the last month since we've gone here for the start of camp, and it's just straight away demeanor is just ready. I mean, I think that's the word to use when talking about Ryan Nassib, is ready. He hasn't been talking too much about really anything. His answers have been straight away. Who knows if that's him trying to just not talk about too much, or who knows if that's just him being him. Who knows if that's where he is, that's where his mindset is at this month heading into into this game Saturday. But obviously with Ryan Nassib, the two guys I guess for the offense, aside from Ryan, who are going to be looked at the most this weekend, except for one other guy, which we'll get to in a minute, is Nathaniel Hackett and Doug Marrone. You got Doug Marrone, new offensive coordinator, after a lot of months of kind of everybody speculating about that, and then obviously Nathaniel Hackett, when we were at Big East Media Day, was pretty much confirmed to us, that he's going to be calling the plays. Bright young guy. Andrew, you delved into that a lot in the football guide. We talked about Ryan Saturday from Nat Hackett and Doug Marrone. What are we expecting?
Yeah, well, I think part of Nassib's success is going to rely upon his ability to work with Hackett this season. And one of the things that we've seen is we've seen in fall camp is Hackett and Nassib really being able to work together and get the idea of what they want to do on offense and be on the same page. I think that's going to be an important part of this season.
Right. I mean, reading Andrew's story, you might get there's certain, I guess, demeanor, or I hate to use the word demeanor again, but the way that I guess Nat Hackett comes across. Andrew Brett could tell you from summer camp. We were only there for the first 45 minutes of pre-practice. Nat Hackett's into it, man. He gets into it with his players. The language is colorful, just like a Scott Schaefer or Bob Casulo. He's looking for perfection. I mean, everything about him is being perfect. And transitioning to Doug Marrone, he's it's kind of like Ryan Nassib, where he hasn't been saying too much. But I think it's more so with this team, and I think you two guys agree with me. It's just because they're focused. And again, in the story that ran yesterday, came across that they're not really caring about Akron. They don't care who the team is, who the players are, how good they are, how bad they are. But I believe it. I don't think it's all talk. I mean, do you guys agree? What do you think of the team's mindset as a whole, stemming down from those three guys in the passing game heading into Akron Saturday? Brett, what's your take?
I think they're focused. I think they're ready. It's been a long. It feels like it's been a long month of August, yes. And I think from talking to a lot of the players, I feel like they just want to get out there and they want to hit someone from another uniform. So
yeah, I mean, even talking to Shamarko on Wednesday, that's exactly what he said to me when bringing up Akron. He was like, we don't care. People, whatever, you can say that not a BCS team. People don't think we're a BCS team. We don't get respect. We're gonna go out there, and the exact words he said to me was, we're gonna hit them. We're gonna hit them hard. I mean, what's your take on that, Andrew?
Yeah, I think that it really goes into whether or not you believe what Doug Marrone is doing here, and I think that a lot of people are really on board, but it's gonna take a few games for them to really prove themselves. I mean, 4 games last year really didn't do it. The fan base isn't 100% behind them, but I think that with a few early wins, the fans can really get behind them and support this team.
I mean, you mentioned prove yourself. Again, we're not going to be able to see too much in this first game here against a team that's picked to finish last in the MAC East, but everyone's going to have their eye on is obviously DeLon Carter homecoming. I mean, this is it for him, 1.5 miles down East Exchange Street in Akron from Archbishop Bowman High School's first school as a 16-year-old sophomore in front of a lot of the same Akronites, if you will. I mean, DeLon Carter's coming back, and just like these guys who have a certain demeanor. We didn't talk to DeLon too much in summer camp, but it's going to be interesting to see that first play when he carries the ball, first series, first quarter, just entirety of the first game, because I guess for all three of us we agree it's what we're going to look for on the field and what we're going to look for off the field. When it comes to on the field stuff, again, pre-practice stuff this summer we weren't able to see too much, but in the spring, what we were able to see was a faster, quicker, stronger DeLon Carter, who I don't think was brought down once by a single SU defender in the entirety of it. And who's going to think that any Akron defender is going to be able to do that, in a big game like this? But I mean, just what do you guys expect out of DeLon this first game on the field?
Yeah, just going off what you said, Tony. Football-wise, DeLon Carter didn't miss much. He missed a practice in a spring game, and I'm sure he kept in shape throughout the summer. I don't really think he's going to miss a beat. I don't think he's going to, miss anything. I think he's in good shape. He looks the part, and he also regained the starting job pretty quickly. So I think that says something.
Yeah, I think that Brett basically said it. He didn't miss a beat, and I think that most importantly, he really has it's kind of like a second opportunity for him. Opportunity that could have very easily been taken away. And I think that. When it's all said and done, I think he could even have a better year than he had last year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what people are expecting. You guys mentioned not missing a beat. Even I was talking to Will Hicks a few weeks back, and exactly what Will Hicks said to me was, I mean, I called DeLon one day. We were talking about, just the offseason stuff that we needed him doing, and he said to me, with regards to, I don't know if it was sprinting or what, coach, it was 26, right? And Hicks was like, no, it was 28, and DeLon was like, oh, I apologize. I mean, the guy has, all summer, he has been doing what has been expected of him. And on the field, we don't really, we expect much more going off what we saw in the entirety of practices and spring practice. Off the field, it's a big homecoming. I mean, that's the only thing. Will all this, from coming off the suspension, fusing everything into this return to Akron, will it filter in at all? I mean, I don't think so. But what do you guys think? What do you expect out of the line against this, porous? I think, Brett, that's the way you put it, SU Akron defense.
Yeah, I think going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's a chance for him to kind of rectify the situation, not necessarily to erase what happened with the suspension, but to go home, have a big game. Really, I think gets a lot of people behind him. A lot of people want to support him. Coming out and having a big game against Akron will help that.
Brett, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see that that first snap. There's probably going to be a lot of emotion going into that.
Yeah.
But I think once he stops, the off the field stuff stops and he gets on the field, I think he'll have a big game. There's really not much there for Akron.
Yeah, right. I mean, everybody's talking about DeLon, but I think we can all guarantee one thing: no one is waiting for this game more than he himself. So we're just going to jump into our picks here. We talked about all kind of the major things here for Akron. We all had our picks in the paper yesterday. Everybody's picking SU big against this Akron team, but Andrew, I think you're giving the most respect, I guess, to the Zips. What's your pick and why?
Yeah, I think everyone's, not just us, but everyone wants to see what this team's made of before they pick a blowout. But I'm picking 24-10, and so I still think it'll be by a couple touchdowns. But as I mentioned yesterday in the paper, I think it could be close early, but I think definitely in the second half, Syracuse is going to pull away.
Brett?
Yeah, I think Syracuse will win. I'm going with 28-6. I don't think there's much of anything there for Akron. I think they don't have a guy who caught more than. They have one guy coming back who caught more than 8 balls last year, and their rushing situation isn't much better. So I think Akron won't give Syracuse much of a shot.
Yeah, this Akron team is just not good. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. And you mentioned them staying close early. What people are talking about, especially in Syracuse with regards to Akron, is Mitch Browning and Derek Jackson. Those two guys who, as recently as last year with Jackson, with Marone, was here, with all kind of the scheming and everything. And then with and then with Mitch Browning, he was here 2 years ago running the entire offense. So they're definitely going to, you have to assume, you have to know that they're going to know definitely some things with regards to SU, what they're doing overall. So I think that may be a way that they stick in there early, maybe even get more than one score, maybe even double digits in points. But I'm still going to pick SU 31-7. It seems like a blowout, but talent trumps, and this weekend that's what's going to happen. We haven't said it much recently with SU football, but that's the case Saturday, we believe. But aside from that, be sure to check in to dailyarts.com. Starting tomorrow, these guys are going to be there tomorrow in Akron for all of your game coverage. We're going to have your live tweets. We're going to have more videos posted online. We're going to have another on the beat post game from Akron. We're going to be debuting a text subscription service. Make sure everyone subscribes to that. We're going to be obviously blogging pregame, postgame. Everything you guys need from Akron is going to be there. And then obviously we won't have a paper Monday. Tuesday will be the first printed edition. Check back for the full, complete coverage from Akron for everything that you guys need from the game. Again, Andrew and Brett will be there. Be sure to check in starting tomorrow as SU starts their season against Akron after a long month of August. I think everyone agrees with that, So until then, these guys will be with you. But that's it for the first edition of On the Beat. Be sure to check back tomorrow for the second edition. Signing off from 744 Ostrom. See you tomorrow.